And in fact, the first time I slept over, afterwards at breakfast, he actually cried when talking about her. So like the writing was on the wall, and I was like, this is a great sign, because clearly he's
Wow.
I'm not like emotionally
awkward.
invested, and neither is he, and he just can't see that right now. But it's clear, like he's crying over his ex. So
Okay.
like I said,
Wow.
dark place. Welcome to the X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on. I'm Claire.
And I'm Janice. We are breakup coaches, here to help you beat your breakup,
Heal your broken heart,
and move on to an amazing, abundant life.
Hi, welcome to another X-Files episode, everyone.
welcome.
Yeah. We've got a moving on-ish episode.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's borderline. I think
Ish.
that it's part of the whole rebounding topic is it moving on or is it not?
Right. Yeah. I'm so excited to get into our conversation about rebounding. But before we begin, we just want to remind you, if you would like one-on-one support to beat your breakup, support continuing to move on, please hit us up. Go to our Instagram, send us a DM, and we will supply you with all of the appropriate information about that opportunity.
Awesome.
Yep.
So let's talk about rebounding. Rebounding is super great for your lymphatic system.
Oh my.
Just kidding.
Okay.
I mean, because rebounding is like using the mini trampolines, you know?
Oh, right. You know
Yeah,
what?
for
I
your
did run
lymph.
into so much trouble researching this because I thought it would be so interesting, like we did with negging and like we've done with some other topics to kind of talk about the derivation of the term.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it really was tricky because there's so many different
Yeah.
words. There's lots of rebounding applies to lots of different things.
Yeah.
So I didn't get very far with that. But that's one that I forgot of. That I forgot about is rebounding, the trampoline trend from a few years back.
Yeah. I'm just obsessed with health stuff. So it was like the first thing that came to mind. But let's talk
that's
about
so interesting.
rebound relationships.
Okay, because I was going to ask you more about the trampoline thing, but I guess that's not why we're here.
I mean, we can totally go into Claire's wellness obsessions. I have a lot of cool stories. I don't have a rebounder though. So why are we doing this episode about rebound relationships? There's a lot of societal pressure to like get back out there before you've maybe fully healed or strengthened your relationship with self. That's something that we really focus on here and is not usually like a priority for society to tell you to do that. And because of that like kind of push, rebound relationships can be one of the results. So in the same breath that someone tells you to get under someone new to get over someone, rebounds are also like demonized and illegitimized. Like you've probably heard someone say, oh, they won't last long. They're just the rebound.
Totally. You can't win. Damn it.
You can't win. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
And also like, where does the rebound chain stop? Like, is every relationship after a breakup a rebound from the one before? Like, how long do you wait until your next relationship isn't a rebound? Can someone else tell you that it's a rebound, even if you don't think it's a rebound? Like
that comes up in one of my stories.
Yeah.
We're going to take a deep dive into all of that.
Oh yeah. So and this does come up when people ask us about dating again as part of the healing process. Like when combining dating again with healing, there's just a potential to find yourself in a relationship that might not suit your needs, wants, and desires. And there's potential that you like end up in a relationship before you've really even discovered what those things are.
You have to really think about that after a breakup. And a lot of people do not give themselves the chance to do that.
Yeah, because it hurts and it sucks at first. So you kind of have to make it through the fires of being alone and those nights, you know. Yeah. So like I think rebounds are a way that some people shortcut that process.
Yep. So there are pros and cons, and I think that they're both worth discussing from the perspective of two breakup coaches.
Yes.
So as Claire said, there's many different ideas about what constitutes it and what and it, this idea of is every relationship a rebound after you've had a breakup. Before we talk about our own experiences with rebound relationships, let's get really clear on what we're talking about.
Yes.
So, as with many of these relationship and personality concepts, there's no grand authority on what defines them. I think, for instance, we talked about that in the forgiveness episode. It's a term, but no one person or no one online quiz you can say, yes, it is. However, when it comes to rebound relationships, I did a lot of research that I really loved for this. And there's overwhelming consensus on what constitutes a rebound.
Okay. Awesome.
I think for the first time ever, I'm using Wikipedia as a source.
Yeah.
I would be marked down when I was in grad school for this, but
we're taught to hate Wikipedia in school, but it's honestly great. Like,
for researching something that you aren't aware of, they have really good sources. Yeah. And so sometimes it is a perfectly appropriate starting point.
Yeah, just scroll all the way to the bottom and you'll see the sources.
I love the footnotes in Wikipedia so much. But they had a great explanation. It's a little long, but I'm going to read their explanation or the definition of rebound. Whew. I'll take a sip of water.
Yeah, it's really good. It's worth the length of it.
When a serious relationship ends badly, these partners suffer from complex emotional stresses of detachment. This, in combination with the need to move forward, leads previous partners to have uncommitted relations called rebounds. Common confusion exists around the extended duration of rebound periods. Simply put, one's critical core values and love are often still gravitated and polarized towards a particular person, i.e., one's previous partner, thereby preventing the overall development and accurate assessment of feelings for others during this period of time, the rebound, because true love requires complete mental, emotional commitment. They go on. Someone who is, quote, on the rebound or recently out of a serious dating relationship is popularly believed to be psychologically incapable of making reasonable decisions regarding suitable partners due to emotional neediness, lingering feelings toward the old partner, or unresolved problems from the previous relationship. Rebound relationships are believed to be short-lived due to one partner's emotional instability and desire to distract themselves from a painful breakup. Those emerging from serious relationships are often advised to avoid serious dating until their tumultuous emotions have calmed. Isn't that brilliant? I love it. Were you trying to look up the footnote?
Yeah, so the footnote is it's Coping with Breakups, Rebound Relationships, and Gender Socialization, published in the journal Social Sciences.
Brilliant.
Okay, so I guess they combined two things because it's also from Rebound Sex, Sexual Motives, and Behaviors Following a Relationship Breakups from the Archives of Sexual Behavior.
You know what I think I wasn't able to click on some of their sources.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's why I stuck with good old Wiki.
Yeah, I mean, you'll find it on there.
And then I also liked this. So one study that I read for this episode was Coping with Breakups, Rebound Relationships, and Gender Socialization. And they used the following definition to determine participant eligibility. So they would say that a rebound relationship in order to qualify for the study, the rebound relationship would have occurred after the termination of a romantic relationship, be superficial in nature, a means for coping with the previous termination, and occurring around 6 weeks after the termination.
Interesting.
So, again, they're not the authority.
Yeah.
I forgot which university published this, but that's what these psychologists used as the 6-week mark.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what is special about 6 weeks, you know?
I guess, yeah. And arbitrary, like some
Arbitrary,
length
yeah.
of time has passed, but not that much.
Yeah, exactly. They're not like, oh, 6 months after the relationship, you entered one that was superficial in nature, but it was too long. It was too long. Yeah. So with that said, let's talk about our experiences with rebound relationships. And it's funny now, but Claire was once in a dark place.
Oh my God. I know what you're going to say.
So-
This is so crazy.
I
to
know.
me.
So it's really that definitions how it highlights that someone is psychologically incapable of making reasonable decisions regarding suitable partners due to emotional neediness. So I did that. And I dated a Trump supporter for a while.
Yowza.
Yeah, and like I think, he's not like a monster. He does have redeeming qualities, like I just laugh about it now because we argued so much about this and he was just like, can we just not talk about it? And it was just a bad time. Yeah.
But
was a
so
bad
what
time, I was the
qualified
wrong
it as
guy.
a rebound, Claire?
Well, I think that I was really lonely. I was in a dark place. I had after dumpster fire became a dumpster fire. I basically I'd never done this before. I'd never been on the apps before, and I was like, I'm gonna find a rebound. Like I'm gonna try to distract myself. And I was like fully aware of what I was doing. And went on the apps and had a good time. And he was one of the people I found on there.
Claire. And okay, so 2 questions and then and then we can move on. So first of all, how long after the breakup had it been?
Probably around 6 weeks.
Okay.
I mean, probably like a month to 6 weeks. I mean, because we were trying to be friends. I was still talking to Dumpster Fire during this thing. He was helping me make my dating profile. Like, yeah. So
I know. So and let's be clear. This was
we don't
something
recommend this.
Yeah, Claire eventually decided that she wasn't making the best move, and that's partially informs her outlook today.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my second question, at what stage did you realize that he was like into MAGA stuff?
Oh my God. Well, he's in law enforcement, so it was like pretty clear from the beginning.
Okay. Right.
But I was like, I mean, I've talked about it before. I was like, I'm a reasonable person. He seems reasonable too. Maybe if we talk about it enough, he'll change his mind. No. So yeah, I was like kind of like civic duty to like, introduce him to new ideas and fresh concepts and things that, he probably wouldn't have in his day-to-day life. Which is just like a terrible, terrible way to think about a potential partner is like, ooh, maybe I could change them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So don't
recommend.
live
and learn.
Yeah, live and learn. I mean, I think the whole thing was just a shit show from kind of the beginning. I mean, we were clearly not compatible, like in a lot of ways, but I really liked his family. And
I didn't know that it had gotten to that point.
Yeah, like basically our entire relationship was me coming over and hanging out with his family.
Oh my God.
I really liked them. Yeah.
But were they Trump too?
No, his whole family was like Democratic, super kind of liberal, like pro immigration, pro all these things, and literally we would all just like try to talk some sense into him, and he just like wouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I've heard a lot about that movement, is
Yeah.
that there's often like one person in the family that kind of
Yeah.
falls off the rails.
It's kind of fucked. I'm not going to go into politics more than I already have, but basically for a lot of reasons we were totally incompatible. And I think it was probably clear to him, probably in retrospect, that I was not as emotionally invested. And also I think that I was a rebound for him as well, because on our first date, he told me about his ex-fiance who things didn't work out with. And throughout our entire time together, she came up a lot. And in fact, the first time I slept over, afterwards at breakfast, he actually cried when talking about her. So like the writing was on the wall, and I was like, this is a great sign, because clearly I'm not like emotionally invested, and neither is he, and he just can't see that right now. But it's clear, like he's crying over his ex. So
okay,
like I said, dark place.
That's all right.
Yeah,
I think a lot of listeners will be able to relate.
Where it's like, what the fuck were you doing? But that was me, and that was a rebound for sure.
I guess I have a couple rebound experiences. First of all, I was able to connect with several people in the community about this. So after my ex-husband and I split up, I did date, as I've said, really quickly, actually. And I spoke with other people who said that the same thing. After their divorce ended, they really found lots of comfort in dating. And that is because when you divorce, you are often operating with one foot out the door already for so long leading up to it, that you're able to date again. And I don't want to put, I'll put a label on it, and a kind of quote healthier or way than if you're in a non-marriage relationship that you're kind of surprised that breaks up. So and this was definitely my experience. My ex had lots of money mentality issues, and we also
it's a penny pincher, basically.
Yeah. And just like, even when he didn't need to be, just, some people just have various hangups around money, and he was definitely one of them. And also we had kind of gotten into a rut of, not having that much fun. And you know what? I found a lot of comfort and joy, and I really enjoyed being taken out, doing nice things. I did meet some great men during that time. And but it was all very non-committal on my part, for sure. But I enjoyed it. So I would say that I rebounded. I did see several men regularly, but not exclusively. And then I will say also that I was someone's rebound, and that is Laundry Boy from Melbourne.
Laundry Boy.
So I had been friends with him for ages, but it was pretty clear to me, and probably everyone else, that he, had a crush on me, even though for about a year and a half of our friendship, he was on and off with someone in a very dysfunctional relationship. Oh my God. It was bad. And, he would come to me and other friends every time they broke up and like want to hang out. And then, a week later they were back together. And so when they broke up for good, it was when I had just moved back from Bali, and he immediately he came in guns hard. My friends threw a party for me when I got back, and he came, and he put on the moves, and but they had just broken up like a few weeks before, maybe just a couple. And anyways, we started dating immediately. Oh my God, you guys, this is just the best example of chemistry. versus compatibility, because it was like, seriously, the first time I kissed him, I was like,
Sparks.
it's on, and we just were inseparable for a while after that. But it was obvious to everyone else. I was like, we're in love, but everyone was like, you're the circuit breaker is what they called it. And some people, it actually really hurt. Like, we had some really close friends of ours that told me that. But they were kind of acting as though it was a good thing for him. But like, I'm sitting there totally falling for this guy and hearing that.
Oh.
So it's okay. I mean, I probably would have done some things differently looking back, but yes, it did not obviously work out. I had a good time. I mean, we had some things on the outside of the relationship that really got in the way. But yeah, I think I was. I was. And I think that he was thinking with his small head, not his big head, because he had just, broken up with someone who, and I also wonder if I hadn't been in Australia, if he would have continued this thing with this woman, but because he got with me, I do think it was a circuit breaker thing. Like, this was what allowed him to really move
stop
on.
the cycle.
Yeah. So, I mean, good for him. I don't know if I really need to be the donor,
I'd rather not,
but,
or at least know ahead of time, because I know that you're a big believer in, like, you can just have like fun with someone and like do physical things or dates or whatever. But as long as what
I wish that I would have kept it casual rather than getting so serious. And I think that I would have loved it. It was good with him. So I wish I would have just let it be entirely physical, or just very casual, or kept it more open than we did. That's my experience. And I did some digging and pulled the community, and I've got some stories.
Yay.
So, and I want to make sure that I mention I am sharing some direct quotes, but I did get permission to do so.
All right.
So one listener said, when my husband left, he did it with a lot of anger and malice. He worked hard to tear me down and listed a long tally of my faults. Fuck that. My husband did that too. Yeah. This was very difficult. He left me for an 18-year-old. My confidence took a bad hit. Although I took many months to heal, and I don't think it's necessary to find validation from others, it is very powerful to heal some of the residual hurt by sharing vulnerabilities with friends and romantic partners. I felt admiration and grew and care and regrew my confidence in interacting with other men, seeing how they responded. Then another listener said, my ex cheated on me. He was my world. He was fired and he was red and fun and a risk taker. I was devastated when I found out. Instead of figuring out more about myself and what I needed and wanted and having me time, I dated the second person to ask me out. He was safe, beige is how she puts it, which I think is adorable, a bit dull, a bit yawn, not sociable. He was the opposite of what had hurt me before. That person was my ex-husband. We had nothing in common, but I was too scared to be alone and too scared to acknowledge that I am a risk taker and need someone like that. I asked this person if they would do it again. Look at her answer. It's adorable. I wouldn't do that again in terms of a relationship. I understand what went wrong first. Rebound sex, I'm all up for it, but no ties.
Nice.
And then friend of the show, Jessie, shared a great story with me. She said that she had actually dated someone she rebounded with for 3 whole years. And she started seeing him after hooking up. She had been dating someone and they were broken up. And one night they hooked up. And then the next morning he was like, wow, this was a mistake. We shouldn't have done that. Oh. And she, I know. Oh, I'm laughing, but it's only because of your reaction and also out of sympathy because that sucks. And she was like really hurt.
Yeah.
And so that night she went on a date with someone who was interested in her and they hooked up and like became a couple. And she said it was
Wow.
a total rebound, and she said it was someone I shouldn't have been with. We were not good for each other, and I hadn't even liked him for a long time because of who he was.
I
So,
relate, girl.
yeah, totally.
Oh man. So, I mean, we've talked a lot about negatives. There are some pros. Most of our actions, especially when it comes to dating, have a deep root in an attempt to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
So, rebounding is the perfect example. It's important to remember that they aren't all bad, and that if you have done this or been with someone who has done this, to remember that we all look after ourselves in different ways, and that it may have been a proactive way to care for yourself at the time, even if there were negative consequences.
It's important to remember that, we use
Yeah.
coping strategies with the information
To
that we
cope.
have at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like from my story, like yeah, I could easily beat myself up about that one. Easily. But, it was an experience I think I had to have.
The
Um
X-Files appreciates.
yeah, I really I did this for you guys basically. um yeah, and it was definitely like to protect myself from,
Yeah.
dealing with everything. So, besides being a protective measure, rebounding also helps with rebuilding confidence after a breakup. This can be a really good thing, especially if you can be honest with those that you're dating. Like, it's good to know that you're sexy and powerful and awesome and people want to be with you.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we prefer that people find that on their own, but
Yeah.
as the first listener said, it really helped her after being with a abusive
dick.
partner for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, someone
Yeah.
who's going to tear you down like that, and then to turn around and feel desirable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good to
can't blame
feel
her at all.
desirable. And
Mhm.
also, especially like with your story, like leaving, like getting divorced and being like, these are some of the things I'm looking for, and being able to like dive in and be like,
Mhm.
oh, wow, yeah, people do the things that I was looking for. Like maybe the people I'm meeting right now aren't my like soulmate that I'm supposed to be with, but they are
Yeah.
showing me that the things I was missing from my relationship
Mhm.
are available in the world.
Yep. Yeah. And it had a big impact on how I still date today, and what I kind of expect, and what I know that I can get, and what I know is
Yeah.
out there, and how I want things to roll, because I was
Yeah.
able to know very early on that it's out there waiting.
Yeah. And if you keep things casual, it can be fun. And it's good to have fun after a negative experience as well. So if you are able to keep things casual, if you know that about yourself that you're like, I don't do casual, then maybe this isn't for you. But
Absolutely.
you
And I
know.
know there's lots of people out there who can't actually do it.
Yeah.
Or don't want to for whatever reason.
Yeah, but sometimes like to find that out, you do have to like screw it up, I guess. Like you do have to
Yeah.
like you don't have to try it. Never feel pressured to try it, but like if you're like, I think I could do it, and then you go out there and you're like, I can't do it. Like that's fine.
Yeah. And we're going to
Um,
talk about how to navigate that once you get to that point.
yeah.
And of course,
Sex.
sex is I mean,
Sex is sex.
We're pro sex
Yeah,
here.
I mean, we're pro sex. I will say sex does get better the more you practice with someone.
Yeah, Claire.
Like,
And
random hookups are not as satisfying.
yeah, I mean, look, we could probably do an episode on this, but
Yeah.
I mean, if they serve a purpose as well. A story of my own immediately comes to mind, and that was the first time that I had sex after my marriage. It was not a rebound relationship because it was a hookup,
Yeah.
but I was on holiday at the time, and I really remember being like, yes, I've had sex with someone else. I am moving on. And it was actually a really good feeling to know that I had, been intimate with someone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, you're not like walking around knowing that the last person you slept with
Exactly.
was your ex-husband. Yeah.
Yes.
I could see the appeal of that for sure.
And also I knew, because I mean, we didn't live in the same area where there's no way for us to date.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it was like easier to keep things separate.
Quite, yeah. All right, so let's make sure that we get really clear on some of the cons.
Yes.
All right, we do definitely encourage you to proceed with caution with this.
Mhm.
There are a lot of pitfalls, including not giving yourself time to examine your patterns. And that means that you may very well repeat them.
Mhm.
People. If you're rebounding, you might not give yourself time to process and grieve your last relationship. And that may lead to unhappy relationships in the future and not being able to deal with the triggers that come up as you get close to someone.
Yeah.
Claire's crying story is the perfect example. I don't think that's a good look for the morning after. And
It's
you
kinda
know, something that
crazy.
you might want to avoid.
Yeah. I was like, wow, this is so
I know.
disgusting.
While the boost of confidence can be such a great thing for so many people, there's also the danger that learning to rely on someone else for confidence will lead you in a constant cycle of failed relationship after failed relationship, because you never fully develop that relationship with yourself. It
Yeah.
really is the best foundation for inviting others in.
Yeah. And another thing to keep in mind is after a breakup, you're dealing with breakup brain. And it's really easy to make decisions that seem like a good idea in the moment, but that you are not considering the long-term consequences. You are operating at a lower mental capacity. You're smart, you're brilliant, you're funny, but after a breakup, it does dip a little bit.
Yeah.
And it just might be helpful to take sex off the table for a moment, just because, you know, like you want to be smart about things even when you're having fun. And similarly, there's the potential to hurt yourself or hurt others. Justin Lemiller, PhD, social psychologist and research fellow at the Kinsey Institute, says, at the same time, however, not everyone who has rebound sex makes great decisions or has positive experiences. The context and circumstances surrounding rebound sex matter greatly in terms of its impact. Like if you're already like off balance emotionally after a breakup, and then you, like me, decide to have a one-night stand with someone and you're really careful about it, but it turns out that they're like actually lying about shit, then it's like it leaves you feeling dirty and, you know, really scared for your own health.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to unpack with this for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you aren't used to having hookups or one night stands, and then you do it after a breakup because you think it might help you feel a little bit better. Whew.
Yeah.
Lots of
And
potential
I
for
do
some
want
hurt there.
to I do want to have someone on to talk about STDs and STIs and like
yeah.
that whole thing. Testing in America is terrible. If you haven't had a blood test, I'm telling you, you might not know that you have herpes. And most STD tests that you do not have a blood test. So you've never been tested for those things. You're
Oh my
just
God, it freaks me out so much.
wandering around. So yeah. So keep that in mind. We'll talk more about it in a different episode, but I
Yes.
just
All
want to
right.
share
Cool.
that.
Yeah, let's make sure to revisit that. I forgot about that we were gonna do that.
I know. I really
something in me is just a little bit resistant, I believe, to
'cause you're like,
taking a deep dive into SDGs.
Yeah.
But it's very important for sure, for sure. So, yep. Keep your eye
I
on
have a
this
lot
space.
of feelings about it. So yeah, I'd love to talk about it more.
Great.
But yeah, just, you know, be safe, get yourself tested frequently and ask for blood tests. And you'll probably get some pushback on it because they don't want to.
All right.
It's crazy.
So how to tell if you have been through a breakup and you think you want to date again, how can you tell if it's actually more of a rebound situation? 1, what are your motivations for dating again? I love asking people this question. I can uncover so much by the answer.
Do you know your motivations? Have you even thought
Mhm.
about what your motivations
Yeah.
are?
I mean, that often happens when I ask people. They're like, "Oh, wow."
Oh, I just
How do you feel about your ex right now? How emotional do you feel about the breakup? What is the source of your confidence? If you're looking externally for that, you might want to throttle back a bit before you date too much. What emotional capacity do you have to give to others right now? And this is especially important to consider. Are you out there dating for a relationship or out there dating for casual relationships? And if you want another partner, you need to consider, what can you give?
yeah.
And if you're thinking not really that much, I just want to keep it casual, maybe you need to start being more honest with yourself and others.
Definitely. So, how to tell if someone is rebounding with you? Number 1, do they talk about their ex a lot? Yep.
Do they cry when
Do
they
they cry when they talk about their ex? That was number 2. Do they seem emotional when talking about their ex? If the tears are running down their face, I'm telling you, they're not over their ex.
Yep. And also another indication would be the anger factor.
Oh, yeah.
We are all
That
for
was
getting
there
angry at your
there
ex.
too.
Yeah, but when
Yeah.
you see that coming out with someone you're dating,
Yeah. Ooh,
back
red
up.
flag. Yeah. Red flag. Number 3, are they trying to take the relationship too fast? Yeah. And 4, are they hot and cold? This can be an indicator that someone's like conflicted. They're
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
like getting pulled in 2 directions. And ideally, you want them to be pulled only in your direction. So,
yeah, I love it. One of the best articles that I read for this, maybe the only good article I read for this, was a Helpline article titled "How to Recognize a Rebound Relationship and What to Do Next." And they had a section in the article/blog post labeled, "Can you keep seeing each other without acknowledging it?" I'm sure everyone knows the answer, but I loved what they wrote. So again, is it possible to date someone without talking about what you're looking for? And they said, nope. In any relationship, you need to be clear and transparent around your wants, needs, expectations, limitations, and boundaries. And that stands for Rebound Relationships. Failure to honestly communicate what you're looking for is a recipe for hurt and mess.
That's so good. I feel like probably our audience predominantly do want to have conversations with their, whoever they're with, because they're, they see being in relationship or recovering from a relationship breakdown as a skill that you can develop over time with like education and those sorts of things. But I think, maybe people in like the generations before us like wouldn't even talk about sex with the person they're having sex with.
Yeah,
And
that's a good point.
like, especially if you're considering a rebound, like this is someone that you don't want to be with long term. That's a perfect place to practice communication, because if you fuck it up and they leave, you learned something and you didn't like lose out on too much. You're like,
and it
wow,
gets
I
easier.
really messed that one up. And it gets easier the more you do it. And also, if you try it and you're scared and you do communicate and you push through it and things turn out okay, and you're like, wow, I can really do this, and it'll boost your confidence like that.
Yeah, for sure. I think when it comes to open communication, people tend to do better and be more comfortable with the conversations around, let's be exclusive, yay.
Yeah.
Rather than, I want to keep this casual and I don't know what the other person is going to say.
Yeah.
And yeah, everyone, it's a great opportunity to practice and it's really going to pay off, I promise you.
Yes. Yeah. Something I hear and have experienced is the feeling like you're going to miss out on someone great because you're still getting over your ex. And so, like, you can go into a rebound relationship being like, I'm not over my ex, but this person is so cool and funny and awesome, and I don't want to miss out on this. But you know you're not emotionally available yet, and you kind of like push yourself into the situation. To that, I just want to say the world is actually very generous, and like you'll hear stories about people who just continue to run into each other, and it works out when the timing is right. Like if this person is so cool and awesome, and you think that they're like a really possibly your person, but you're not
Mhm.
emotionally available yet, let them go, and maybe they come back around when the time is right. And if they don't, I guarantee if you made a list of everything that was awesome about that person, you'll find that in someone else as well.
Yeah. That's
So,
great, Clara. Yeah, that's kind of what I was
yeah.
thinking too. Like our attraction to people it's good messages about what
Yeah,
we desire. Mhm.
exactly. And, just tell yourself this or something better, this or someone better. And
Hmm. Yeah.
but in the future when you are ready for it, not when you're, emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, and it goes for if that person's emotionally unavailable as well. Just
yeah.
take note of what it was that attracted you to them and use it
Yeah,
to
for
inform your future
research.
decisions.
So, if you start to date someone as a rebound and then you discover, uh-oh, I'm falling for them. Um, this article, the Healthline article, also lists ways to initiate a conversation about that to make
I
sure
love
that
these little
everyone stays.
scripts. So
Yeah, these scripts are so cool. I like the third one, but we're saving that one for last. So, number one, it's been a minute since we talked about what we're both looking for as we spend more time together. I'm realizing I'm starting to develop feelings for you. I'd love to hear how that makes you feel. And then that they, like, yeah, you're making yourself vulnerable, but you're kind of giving them permission to do the same.
yeah.
Yeah. And also then you both know where you stand. Number two, for the sake of transparency, I'm realizing that I started to develop feelings for you, and I'm interested in giving this a real go. Has what you're looking for evolved? Um, and then number three, I just love this one.
Oh.
I'm nervous to admit this because I love what we have going, but I'm starting to like you and would be open to dating you. How are you feeling about this? Like, I think that's just, like especially I just think it's a cute way to bring it up. It's like a low pressure cute way. And even if someone doesn't feel bad, they're not going to be like, "Oh my god, you're putting so much pressure on me."
Yeah, I'm
Like
also
they're just
going
going to
to
be like,
say
"That's
that.
adorable, but I'm sorry, I'm not there."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, completely. I know I am a great example of someone who likes to use humor to take the edge off.
yeah.
And that's a way to do that
Yeah.
while still being very clear.
Honest and
Yeah.
open, and like, yeah, you might lose this person afterwards, but it's better than like not having them at all, really, and just continuing to deepen your feelings over time
Yeah.
without them knowing that you were even feeling that way. Like,
Mhm.
So, all right. So, here's the big question. Should you do it? Janice.
All right. Oop. I think as a blanket rule that you should date yourself after a big breakup that
Yeah.
leaves you heartbroken and listening to X-Files.
Yeah.
So I think you need to rebuild your confidence on your
Mhm.
own. I think that you need to learn to love being single. You need to have time to process, grieve, look at your patterns, everything, before you get back out there. I
Yeah.
would say I totally see the benefit. I benefited from it. We had listeners say that they benefited from it, but as a generalization, no.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think, a lot of people and this could be another episode. A lot of people tell me that they get on the apps as a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And I really think that that's a trend that we need to discourage people
stop.
against.
Yeah. And also it's feeding into the whole dating app suck and no one actually wants to meet up for a date, especially if you're just like just over and over in the chatting stage for like some the ego boost, you know? And it's
Yes.
like everyone you interact with like at on some level gets their hopes up, hopefully, because I know you guys are awesome and you know like are attractive and cool and anyone would want to date you. So like you go on there and you're like, hey, but I'm never gonna meet up with these people. Like, you're kind of feeding into this unfortunate stereotype.
Yeah,
about
that's a
dating
really
apps.
good point, Claire. Don't be part of the problem, people.
Don't be part of the problem. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, I mean, talking about my dark times, like it's no fun to go on dates, not really emotionally click with the person, and then like fucking cry on the way home. You know, like it's really putting yourself through an emotional ringer. And I think if you're still like frequently multiple times a week crying over your ex, I really don't think that's the time to do this. I mean, I know that like the timing is different for everyone, and like how do you really represent when you shift from don't do a rebound to like, okay, consider a rebound. But I think it just can have the effect of making things harder for you. And like I mean, this isn't so much rebounds, so it's more just like hooking up, whatever. Like, I'm telling you now, like, it's never been like that good. Like,
For you. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would be so impressed if someone did a good job on the first go, you know?
I mean, it happens. I would say that holiday hookup that I had was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then yes, sometimes it hasn't been when I've had hookups, but
Yeah.
I mean it was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's only gotten to be like, you know, like maybe 75-80% of the possible enjoyment level, you know?
I mean, I'm thinking about it right now and like holding myself back because I don't want to be explicit and like tell you more about it. It was hot.
Okay, we'll talk
but
about
I don't
it
know
after
if
we
we want
end
to
this
say it on the air.
But yeah, so that's just my feeling on it. But I'll be the representation for someone who like never really tried the whole like hookup culture, and then during my single times did and was not impressed. You know?
I think generally, yeah, you, especially if you're grieving from a breakup, it's it can, not the time to sex.
Yeah, but you know, everyone's experience is different, and you can listen to this and be like, sorry, Claire, that's not me.
I mean, often also, even when you're dating someone seriously or going in that direction, the first time is not as good as it's gonna get.
Exactly, like it gets better over time. So I would say a qualified no. You know, I think that it can work for some people, and I think if you're extending it past the 6-week mark at the very least, you're giving yourself a better chance of it being an enjoyable experience. I think if you're neutral towards your ex but you're just not interested in anyone else yet, like I feel like that's a good stage to be at, where you're like,
I mean, a lot can happen.
Like,
a lot can happen in the being single during that stage as well.
Exactly. So yeah, those are our thoughts, our experiences on rebounding.
That was a fun one.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, we keep on saying that. Claire and I are in the flow as far as X-Files episodes goes these days. What did you think of this episode? We would love you to leave us a review, a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and let us know. And as a thank you, we will send you X-Files stickers in the mail. And most of all, we appreciate you listening. Ooh, if you think this episode might help someone, please pass it along.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on.
If you liked this episode, please help others find us by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or by following the show on Spotify.
And if you'd like to connect more with us and learn about breakup coaching, find us on Instagram at X-Files Podcast.